Stop popping with power tonight. I'm in the mood of my soul tonight. We gotta turn up tonight.
Let's get to the debauchery. Hi, my name is Muheve. I'm your hostess with the mostest, and today with me we have my co-host Angus. Angus, say hi to the people. Okay, today on the chopping block today we have mental health, and that's why we're in my pajamas, because it's just that kind of day. We're gonna look at the things that I found on the internet, some of your views and perspectives, and some of the things that everyone had to say, and as well as myself, as well as because I'm an opinionated Betty. I don't like the flavor of words right now. They're tasting tongue-tie. Yes, because I'm an opinionated Betty, and because I can. So let's get to part one. This is part one. Part one, we're gonna look at what is mental health, what does WHO say about mental health, and most importantly, the resources that we have here available in Namibia. So this is a scripted part of the video, so excuse me if I'm not making eye contact. Buy my turn first, you know. So what is mental health? This is straight off Google, okay? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It is important in every stage of life. Why isn't therapy free? Then why is therapy not free? You know? What does WHO say? WHO is an acronym for World Health Organization. I know y'all are smart baddies, but you know, just doing my due diligence. WHO says it's a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. You see, we're gonna get to my opinions later, but just like this, why is my value or mental health based off of whether or not I can contribute to the community? You know, like, I don't know if it's making sense. You know, I still don't have an answer to it, but yeah, it's just like a side eye. Like, is that what my value is worth? Is that all I'm worth? So a part of my due diligence, and just like not wanting to spew a bunch of like chaotic program and just like create this state of helplessness, I did my I found this on Sisters Namibia's website. If there's any error and like, or if some of these sites and services are not available, please let me know so I can just like update it. So everything will be linked down below in the description, so you know, don't worry about sweetheart, I got you. So the first available source or center that we have is Lifeline Childline, which is a toll-free number of which you can call and just share your burdens. Oftentimes people say that talking to a stranger helps, and I'm sure like the girlies can relate. The girlies toilet is such a safe space. Like, once you've thrown back a few, it's like where you guys go hug and you talk and you cry, and then the sisters are there like, girl, leave him. Girl, what are you doing? You know? So sometimes like talking to a stranger helps, and most importantly, talking to a qualified stranger, even better, baby. So you can schedule a face-to-face session as well as like, you know, call them. I'm struggling with talking today. I really am. The flavor of words, it's heavy on the tongue, it's latent. And then we have the Ministry of Health and Social Services, which offers free counseling, psychiatric, and rehabilitation services by qualified professionals. Don't you just love that word, qualified? Qualified. And then we have Etomago Resource and Rehabilitation Center, treatment and rehabilitation of drug and alcohol dependent individuals and their families. And up next on the docket, we have mental health department at Central Hospital. I don't have any experience with the next one, which is the Namibia Red Cross Foundation. I didn't know that they could assist and help with mental health as well, which is pretty cool. And the next one, I was like shocked to find, because I didn't know we had an Alcoholic Anonymous. But on the website it says it's only here in Windhoek, so like your capital city. And we have I don't know if it's Regain or Reagan, but I'm gonna say Regain because it's R-E, gain. Trust for counseling for victims of gender-based violence, which I also didn't know. So yeah. And then we have the Philippine Trust Counseling and Rehabilitation, the flavor of words. Okay. Philippine Trust Counseling and Rehabilitation services offered at 100 Namibian dollars per service. On the website, the numbers of rehabilitation centers are provided for, as well as the Bell Esprit and Okanguri Therapeutic Center. A few interesting things that I found as well during my research, which I really didn't know much. Okay, this was stated in a 2016, I think it was a 2016 article just reviewing the state of mental health in Namibia. And at the time, it was only 14 journal articles had been published. That includes before and after independence. I don't know. I don't know about you, but 14 seems like a little, you know. And in this paper, it also stated how Namibia still had a bit to go and to look beyond just the mental health problems such as depression and or anxiety, you know. In a video that I watched, in this video that I watched from NBC's channel from the 9th of October 2020, it says we only have 2 mental health centers.
Hey, it's me, your favorite editor. So actually, we have 3 medical centers, 2 of them being public and 1 of them being private. I don't know who wrote this script, but it's giving ghetto. I don't know why she lying up in there. Sorry.
Private facility, and Dr. Helen Jama states that suicide comes in second as a cause of death between individuals from age 15 to 25. You know, and one of the reasons stated in this video as well was that why people don't feel the need to, why people could feel that they would not need to seek out help for their mental health or shy away from it, could be societal stigma and not wanting to talk. I think a major problem is that we have this preconceived notion of like, oh, this is what mental health looks like and this is what the therapist is going to. The truth is, therapy looks nothing like it does on the television, and the societal stigma that we have created around it of like, oh no, like you should be able, you know, my hyper independent baddies, I'm talking to you, that I should be able to deal with this alone, and I should be able to be part of living and learning to live is realizing that it's okay to reach out and seek help when you feel like you can't do it alone. As humans, biologically, you know, we created to be with each other, okay? You can't always do it alone. And I understand, like, when you go through hustle, we will discuss hustle culture in later episodes. The truth is, sometimes it's okay to say that I can't do this and seek help. It doesn't make you any less stronger. It doesn't make you any less weaker. You know, mental health is not an uphill, downhill. It's not linear, okay? It's a curve. There's this up, and then there's the downs, and it's the pits, it's the ghettos. I get it, but part of understanding it and also getting through it is being able to be like, hey, yo, dog, listen, I can't do this. I can't do this, okay? So with that being said, with all the sources that I was able to find and the definition, let's move on to part 2 of our videos. Part 2 of our video. Yeah. Welcome to part 2 of today's video, struggling with mental health, where I insert, like, you know, some of my personal experience and just share some of the statistics. It's small, and I don't think it can be considered, but I think it's enough. It's enough. I asked some of my followers on Instagram just to like share some of the experiences that they could have or something that they wanted to get off their chest. And the truth is, the thing about struggling with mental health is that there are no, unless you self-harm, there are no scars to show for it. There is no, I don't feel okay and here's the evidence. It's all happening in here. You know, it's a uphill battle, but you can feel it emotionally. You sometimes can, like, severe anxiety cases can lead to physical illness such as like gut irritations, etc., etc. But it just comes to show that mental health looks differently in different people. It can look like crying, can look like sadness, it can look like being an overachiever, and sometimes it can look, again, it's different for every person. Acknowledging and accepting that is also one step forward. Understanding that it's okay to struggle sometimes and that we can't always do it alone. Something that I've always found peculiar is like our generation's obsession of like, I've made it to the top alone and I can do it alone. And then there was like this reel that I'm not gonna insert that, that's gonna look shady. There's this reel I was watching, and this girlie, she was like, yeah, I've learned to be in my own company and just do it on my own. But in her video, there's a second cup with her. Like, she's having cocktails, and then there's another cocktail again. You know, there's like this facade of you taking advice from billionaires. But the truth is, Joseph's father, who's not a billionaire and a tech company owner, he held help along the way. Whether or not he chooses to omit the fact that he didn't do it all alone, that it could have been a connection, that it could have been a friend, and there were low days. I'm not gonna share my low days, I'm gonna share my wins. Because when you're at the top, will you remember this? And that's also like the thing. In the moment in time when you're at your lowest, you don't realize, or you are unable to see past this moment because it's so overwhelming. And sometimes you just need to get that helping hand to remind you that you've either been here before and you can make it out because you were strong, independent baby, or even if you haven't been here before, you can make it out of this because you're strong, independent baby, or you're not, which is totally okay. There's also this hyper fixated need within the Black community, particularly here. Is like, why must I be strong? I just want to cry. Girl, I'm gonna lay in my bed and I'm gonna cry. And that's what I've been doing. You need to allow yourself the space to feel and process. And if you don't, shoving things under the rug or under the bed does not look nice. I'm sure you've tried it, like when your mama or your aunt or whoever is like, and then you start shoving things in the closet. Your problem is not gone. The room is not any cleaner than it was before. Okay, it looks good on the surface, but on the inside, you when a guest comes or your friend is over here, you're scared to open the closet because the things will fall. Don't embarrass yourself. So we can take that analogy and like really apply it to mental health. Piling things on top of each other inside the cupboard, eventually you're gonna have to open that cupboard. You're gonna and I know you're gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna open it and I'm gonna close it real quick because I know my junk. Well, take a step back, take 2 steps back. Look at me in my face. It's okay to have low days, and it's okay to let the stuff lay on the floor sometimes, but you're gonna need to get up. You're gonna need to take up that wrinkly piece of cloth. You're gonna need to fold it and put it away or wash it. These are steps that we take. You cannot rush from that shirt was dirty on the floor to suddenly magically that shirt is in the closet. It's going to stank up the other clothes too. So, with that being said, sometimes when someone asks you if you're not okay, it can feel hard, you know? And most importantly, the habits that we create during our youth, you're going to take that habit to work one day. Your boss is like, which I mean, you just ghosted us, like what? And that's not like the thing. It's like when you're having a low day, like, and sometimes there's that thing of varsity when you miss a test, and like also high school sometimes, like you would have to take a sick leave form to show that you were sick. But it was here. I was gone and bowling, but I don't feel depressed no more. Like, what's a sick leave for that, you know? Okay. When you're feeling at your lowest and you feel like super lonely, it's hard to, again, it's just, sometimes it's hard to see past that, okay? And it's okay, like, because I've let myself, we're in my room right now, I've let myself lay on this floor on that bed in a pillow fort, and I've isolated myself, and I've been, ooh, girl. And once I came out of it, I was like, you know, hi, it's me, it's your girl, I'm back again. And with hyper independent individuals, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, when sometimes it feels like there's no one there for you. But the truth is, have you actually allowed people to experience you in that phase, or do you just go ghost and disappear? Because if it's like that, you can't expect people to be there for you when you don't let them. And this is why you need to create those habits. You know, you gotta be like, hey, yo, guys, I'm not doing good right now. And I know you're like, oh no, me and my friends, that's we joke. Till when? You will joke until when? I know it's funny. It's fun. I'm a girl. I make some dramatic jokes sometimes, to a point where I have to pause and I'm like, girl, calm down with the orphan jokes. Okay, calm down with the orphan jokes. But yeah. Yeah. The truth is, the honest to fudge truth is, I don't know if it gets better. I don't know if by the end of this it will be worth it. And at the moment, I'm not doing so well mentally. But being able to show up for yourself and learning to show up for yourself in those moments is very important. It's very important. Or not. Sometimes, girls, sometimes I'm gonna be like, I ain't sure. You cannot pay me money to leave this room. The times when my sister's like, you don't have bread in the crib, go buy bread. I'm like, no. I don't. I might run into the road, my guy. You know. It's not to joke about self-euthanization and succumbing to self-euthanization. Sometimes it's harder to get help than it's hard to admit that you need help, you know? And you're scared because you're so comfortable within your pain. You're so comfortable with being this person. You know, this is all you've known. If you've struggled with mental health for a long time, you're like, how do I know that I'm gonna get better? How do I know that therapy is gonna help? And the truth is, therapy is not for everyone. When I decided to go to therapy, there were times when I was being forced to go. Girl, I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. I was hostile. I was sitting like this the whole time. I'm like, we go and see who you go and talk to today. And I was like, it was a waste of money. I'm like, I don't even want to be here for real. But the truth is, going to therapy when you're not ready to make the change, when you're not ready to take the leap, when you're not ready to show up, it's going to be hard. And you're not going to want to do it. And when you don't want to do it, it's going to be like, yeah, no, don't work. When I went back to therapy, when I was finally ready on my own terms, when I wanted to get right, when I realized that, hey, I have ABCD. I don't like ABCD, and I don't think I can fix this on my own with just self-help books alone, because they're so vague and they're so general and they talk to everyone. Because I have this, right? I have ABCD. Self-help book is only covering BC. How about I take some of this self-help book and I'm going to take some therapy and I'm going to hold myself accountable and let's go. Right? This is not to say that, oh my gosh, after therapy I'm just so perfect. Girl, it's not after one session you're feeling, again, this is not the movies. Belinda, calm down. This is not the movies. You're gonna need to be honest. Okay, it can be 10, it can be 15, you could be going for the rest of your life. The truth is, you need to hold yourself accountable for your health. You know, the same way when you have a flu and you're dying and your leg is chopped, why can't you do the same commitment, for therapy? When the leg is broken, sometimes you have to go to surgery. But yeah, I'm tired of talking. The flavor of words in my mouth, they're not as tasty as I thought they would be. I'm really proud of myself for finishing this video, because I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna do this. Because the thought of it is beautiful. Having to execute it and do it.
And it's that same thing of, I don't know how I'm gonna make it out of this, but I am.
the evidence to show that I've not just like been stagnant, but it's just I feel stuck. And even when I go out, there's just this crippling feeling that just overwhelms me and it locks me tight. And then just, yeah.
I'm using the back. Wait, let me flip you.
Oh, a 360, a 180.
Yeah, it's 180.
Look at what I did.
I was in true get my shit together fashion. I won't clean this room. So I'm here with my sugar daddy, checking out books.